Hey guys, it's Lord of the Pogs. Today we're going to talk about sneakers. Sneaker collecting and the sneakerhead culture came about in the 1980s largely from two major sources. Basketball, specifically the emergence of Michael Jordan and Air Jordan line of shoes, which was first released in 1985, and the growth of hip-hop music. The boom of signature basketball shoes and the hip-hop movement provided the variety and street credibility necessary for a collecting subculture. And of course, who could forget Space Jam? So here's 25 things you need to know about sneakers right now. Number 1. Nike was almost named Dimension 6. Phil Knight founded the company as Blue Ribbon Sports, but when he split with the Japanese shoemaker Onitsuka, he rebranded and pitched the name Dimension 6. In 1971, on the morning the patent was due, one of his employees submitted a final suggestion that had come to him in a dream: Nike. In the end, it came down to three options: Nike, Falcon, or Dimension 6. The employee pointed out that iconic brands like Clorox, Kleenex, and Xerox have short names of 2 syllables or less, and they always have a strong sound like the letter X or the letter K that sticks in people's minds. Number 2. Sneakers are called different names in different parts of the world. Sneakers are shoes primarily designed for sports or other forms of physical exercise, but now widely used for everyday casual wear. The term sneakers is most commonly used in the Northeast United States, Central and South Florida, New Zealand, and parts of Canada. The British English equivalent of sneaker in its modern form is divided into two separate types, predominantly outdoor and fashionable trainers or training shoes. However, in Australian, Canadian, and Scottish English, running shoes and runners are synonymous terms used to refer to sneakers. Tennis shoes is another term used in Australian and North American English. Several terms for sneakers exist in South Africa, including gym shoes, tennies, sports shoes, sneaks, and tackies. Number 3. 80,000 pairs of Nikes were lost at sea. On May 27, 1990, a huge shipment of Nikes got lost at sea. In one of the strangest shipping accidents ever, 80,000 pairs of Nikes went missing in the Pacific Ocean en route from South Korea to the United States. Oceanographers have been recovering Air Solo Flight, Strike Force, and Pegasus from that overboard shipment ever since. Number 4. Over 2,000 pairs of sneakers are in the world's largest collection. As of May 17, 2012, the largest collection of sneakers consisted of 2,388 pairs and was owned by Jordy Geller in Las Vegas, Nevada. Number 5. Don't buy sneakers that aren't comfortable. Guys, don't buy shoes that aren't comfortable. Some people buy flashy, no-cushion sneakers to sit in boxes, and if that's your jam, you do whatever makes you happy. But shoes are meant to be worn. Don't buy them to have them. Buy them to use them. Number 6. Fads come and go. Just buy what you like. Don't worry about chasing down every trend. It's so easy to spend $100 or more on shoes that you might not even like in a month or two. And be wary of price. It's so easy to spend $100 or more on shoes that you might not even like in a month or two. Don't worry about chasing down every trend. Be wary of price and try not to spend too much on shoes that you might not even like in a month or two. It's so easy to spend $100 or more on a shoe sale right now. But if you don't know much about that shoe, if it even fits, or how it's going to look, you have to be wary. Never buy shoes just because everybody is talking about them. Buy shoes if you think they're cool, they look good, they feel good, and you can afford them. Number 7. Nike always releases Jordans on Saturdays. Jordans are released on Saturdays so that kids don't skip school to get them. Number 8. The largest sneaker in the world was made in 2009. The largest sneaker measures 13 feet long, 5 feet wide and 5.5 feet high, and it was created by Launch Group in Cardiff, England in March 2009. It was made on behalf of Support for Cancer Research Race for Life. Number 9. The NBA banned Air Jordans in 1984. In 1984, Nike unveiled its partnership with Michael Jordan, a red and black shoe called the Air Jordan. Compared to the standard all-white basketball shoes of the time, Air Jordans made an instant impact. The shoes were banned by the NBA because of their color, but Nike paid the $5,000 fine each game so that Michael Jordan would keep wearing them. This boosted the profile of the Air Jordan. Number 10. Converse All-Stars are the best-selling sneakers of all time. Converse Chuck Taylor All-Stars, first marketed in 1917, are the all-time best-selling sneakers, with total sales nearing 600 million pairs. Number 11. Oslo, Norway is the most expensive place to buy sneakers. That's according to the 2018 Mapping the World's Prices report by Deutsche Bank, listing the cost of goods and services in 50 major cities across the world. Here, shoes by Nike, Adidas, and Vans will cost you an average of $141. Number 12. Space Jam Shoe Cameo. Space Jam might have the most lucrative shoe cameo of all time. Michael Jordan shows up in the 9th edition of his signature shoe, but beats the Monstars rocking Jordan 11s. Bonus appearance: Bill Murray checks into the game wearing Air Jordan 2s. Number 13. Shoe addiction is real. The prefrontal cortex in the brain gets triggered when you see a shoe you like, and this part of the brain is called the collector's spot. Number 14. The most expensive sneakers sold at auction were a pair of Nike Air Jordan 1s, game-worn by Michael Jordan in 1985, which were sold for $560,000 on May 17, 2020. The most expensive sneakers sold in a private sale are a pair of Nike Air Yeezy sample shoes worn by Kanye West at the 2008 Grammy Awards, which sold for $1.8 million on April 26, 2021. A pair of 1972 Nike Moon Shoe sneakers sold for $437,500 in New York on July 23, 2019. The unworn shoes were handmade by Nike co-founder and Oregon University track coach Bill Bowerman, and only a handful of the original batch of 12 pairs are left in existence. The most expensive shoes ever sold was a pair of ruby slippers from the 1939 classic The Wizard of Oz, worn by actress Judy Garland, sold for $660,000 in 2000. Number 15. Sneakers aren't an investment. Don't get caught up in the whole sneakers are an investment thing. Figure out what you like and spend your money on that. Assume that everything will be worthless someday and wear them until they fall apart. If the story behind a sneaker is something you connect with, whether it's who designed it or what inspired it, that's far more important than what Twitter thinks. Buy what you like and ignore the hype. If you like a pair of shoes, that's all that matters. Who cares if they're limited, designed by so-and-so, or cost you $1,000? At the end of the day, they're on your feet, and that's all that matters. Some of my favorite shoes are sneakers that nobody has ever heard of or cared about, but I like them and enjoy them. Some of my favorite shoes include my Ben Simmons Nikes. Ben Simmons is from Australia, so on the tongue there is Sydney's postal code, and on the tongue of the other shoe is Australia's country code. Ben Simmons plays for the Philadelphia 76ers, and his number is 25. So on the back of the shoe is the number 25 in kind of a Fresh Prince of Bel-Air style, West Philadelphia, if you will. I also have a pair of Beetlejuice shoes, which I I'm not even sure who makes these, but the sole says ground up. So I guess they're ground up shoes. But they go perfectly with a purple shirt and a green tie that I have. I also have a pair of Puma Reform shoes that I am particularly proud of. They are Clydes, and on the side, they say, "We had to be seen because we couldn't be heard." These shoes are limited edition. I bought them directly from Puma, and they don't actually make this shoe anymore. Puma didn't make any money off the sale of these shoes. Every penny of the sale of these shoes went to a nonprofit founded by rapper Jay-Z called the Reform Alliance. The Reform Alliance works to reform our broken criminal justice system. Different people feel different ways about that sort of thing, but it's something I'm particularly passionate about. So I'm proud of my Puma Reform shoes because I am proud to support that nonprofit, proud to support that cause. Another Puma that I'm particularly proud of is my Paul Stanley signature shoes. Paul Stanley has different varieties of his signature shoe, but I particularly like the oversized style. And these shoes even have pockets. Who would have thought? Did you know my shoes have pockets? You can hide your coffee beans in there. The shoe that I'm the most proud of, and the one that I probably wear the least, is my Adidas Star Wars shoes. I keep them in the box when I'm not wearing them. And I don't know if you can see it, but they come with a holographic certificate of authenticity. And the shoes themselves are in the style of Darth Vader. The red soles actually glow under UV light, not just going to the club and there's UV light and the soles will glow. They actually glow bright red under UV light from the sun. The sole, instead of being labeled Adidas, has the symbol of the Empire, and at the end, again, I don't know if you can see it, at the end it says Star Wars. It's a hard rubber. It has kind of an imperial design. It's a hard rubber, harder than your standard shoe. Adidas. These are the shoes that I'm the most proud of. I always wear them on Star Wars Day, May 4th. I wear them occasionally throughout the year, but I keep them in the box when I'm not wearing them. Number 16. MTV banned Nelly's Air Force One's video. Nelly's Air Force One's video was banned by MTV for excessive product placement. Number 17. The average woman owns 21 pairs of shoes, but the average man only owns 12. The ones who break the record are Danielle Steels with 6,000 pairs of shoes, Imelda Marcos with 3,400 shoes in her collection, and Celine Dion with 3,000 pairs of shoes. Number 18. Every 90s kid wanted a pair of Nike mags. There's not one single kid who grew up in the 90s who didn't want a pair of self-lacing, auto-sizing Nike mags like Marty McFly had in River Valley, year 2015. Iconic designer Tinker Hatfield created the shoe for the movie, then designed it in real life, but without the power laces. 1,500 pairs were released in 2011 to raise funds for Parkinson's disease research. Number 19. Reebok released the Alien Stomper from Aliens. In the final battle scene of Aliens, Ripley shakes off the Queen Alien, grabbing onto her Reebok sneaker, sending it plunging into space. Reebok has twice released the Alien Stomper, once in 2016 to celebrate Alien Day in Power Loader and Queen Alien colorways, and again in 2019 to mark the 40th anniversary of the first film in an OG design. Number 20. Before the 19th century, there weren't right and left shoes. Children still sometimes mistake left or right shoes. Shoes have only had a left and right version since the 19th century. Before that, shoes were made to fit each foot. Number 21. Forrest Gump shoe cameo. In probably the best product placement of all time, Forrest Gump unboxes a pair of Nike's original track shoe, the Cortez, and literally ran down his driveway and across America. Number 22. The biggest shoe ever worn was size 71. The largest shoe size ever belonged to Robert Wadlow. At 8 feet 11 inches, he was the largest human ever. Number 23. Sneaker lingo. When it comes to describing sneakers, you'll see the words highs, lows, or mids. These describe at what points above or below you lace the sneaker. Colorways is used to describe the different colors used in a sneaker design. When describing sneakers, you will either hear the words beaters or kicks. Kicks is another term for shoes, but beaters are shoes that are always worn no matter how beat up they might look. When people are describing upcoming releases, you will hear terms such as OGs, Grails, GOAT, GR, and Deadstock. Hyperstrikes are exclusive pairs typically given only to friends and family of the designers or collaborators. OGs are an original release and the first time a sneaker was released in a style or colorway, including retro and re-releases. Grails are holy grail sneakers and are highly collectible, while GOAT is the greatest of all time. GR is a general release that is easy or accessible to find. Deadstock is referenced as a shoe that is never worn and stays in its box. Finally, a hype beast is a person who knows what's popular or new when it comes to streetwear. Number 24. The first signature sneaker was a Puma. Number 25. Air Force One was the first shoe to feature Nike Air technology. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please consider dropping a tip. And don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit that little bell in the corner to get notifications on more videos like this one.